Hey, what's up everybody? Back with another video today. This is a video that I think many people are going to find very, very valuable. What we're going to be discussing is, and I've heard it from multiple people, that they're concerned about purchasing the machine because they have injuries. Guys, this is such a legit concern, and I'm grateful to say that I don't have that many injuries. I have a really bad back, so I can sympathize, guys. There's days where I wake up and I can't walk, and I'm 34 years old. So I know where you're coming from. I've been injured in the past, and with traditional weights, traditional weightlifting, with just regular going to the gym, you guys are limited. We are limited. Any injured person is limited. But guys, I want to talk today about why you should not be intimidated or worried about tonal when it comes to injuries. Because guys, tonal, although it may seem like, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy this machine because I have injuries or I might not be able to use it. Maybe the weight on one end of the machine will be imbalanced because maybe I have a bad right side and my left side is fine. Maybe the weight will be imbalanced, guys. I'm going to show you why this machine is actually what you want when it comes to being injured, okay? So let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is there's multiple ways to get around an injury. So for example, in previous videos, I've actually discussed how Eccentric Mode, which is the mode where you put this machine in when you want a very easy concentric, but a very heavy eccentric. So it's very easy coming up and very heavy coming down, for example, on a bicep curl. So the eccentric portion of the movement is going to be harder than the other end, the concentric, right? That particular mode has actually helped me. I've had a bad shoulder in the back, right? My rear delt has been very weak. I injured it a while back. It is because of this machine, and it is because of eccentric mode on this machine that I was able to not only exercise through my injury, exercise right through, meaning I didn't take any time off, and I worked out right through my injury. It was because of this machine and eccentric mode that I was able to work through and be able to build up to the point where my rear delt is stronger than when I originally started exercising, guys. My rear delt is healing, and it's almost fully healed from what I can tell. And I have not only just been able to work through the exercise, the injury, work through the injury, but I've been able to build my muscle. It's incredible. So how does eccentric mode help you to do that? All right, I'm going to give you a quick example, okay? Let's say this here is a dumbbell, and I want to lift this dumbbell on, Let's say this is a 50-pound dumbbell. It doesn't matter about the weight. I just have to put a weight out there to help my mind grasp what I'm talking about. So 50-pound dumbbell, right? Now I want to pick this thing up. It is a lot harder to pick this weight up than it is to let it down, because your body to come down is much stronger. So what you could do is you could throw eccentric mode on, okay? And now you're going to lift whatever weight you're lifting, no matter what exercise you're doing, super easy on eccentric mode. And you're going to allow more weight to come down on the portion where your body can handle that weight. So for example, with me, with my rear delt issue, if I was doing a reverse fly like this, the hard part for my rear delt was getting the weight back. But coming this way was easier because my muscles are naturally stronger in that movement. All of our muscles are naturally stronger in that movement. Just the way we're made, that's just what it is. So, really hard to come back, really hard this way if you're on a regular, for example, let's say pec deck, right? If you're on a pec deck, that's what it is. You're getting the same weight this way, same weight this way. If you're doing a dumbbell fly, you're doing the same weight this way, same weight this way. Even with exercise bands, same weight, right? This machine allows you to change that. Now I can come super light on the portion that's going to hurt my body, super light, and then come back heavier. So I was able to slowly build up my rear delt injury from that move right there. So that's something that you guys might want to think about, okay? The next thing that you can do, guys, is when you initially get this machine, it is going to give you a setup. You're going to, I made a video about that in case you guys want to check it out. It shows you the setup routine, how this machine actually calibrates your weight, right? You guys can check that video out if you like. So what you can do is what I did also with my injury, I'll go back to my injury, right? Because we're talking about injuries here. What I was able to do was, I was able to, rather than keep the rep range, all right, let's start from the beginning. Tonal has different rep ranges, and your calibrated weight is going to be stretched across those rep ranges. So for example, if you put a 5 rep range, if Tonal calibrates your muscles and now it knows what your muscles need. If you tell Tonal, hey Tonal, I want a 5 rep range, what Tonal's going to do is, Tonal is going to give you a heavier amount of weight to cram you in to a 5 rep range. So let's say you want a lighter weight, okay? But you still want a weight that's good for your muscles. What you're going to do is, you're going to put a higher rep range. You're going to allow the machine to stretch your weight across a higher rep range. So for example, I like a 12 rep range, okay? When I'm doing most exercises, I like a 12 rep range. But because I had an injury, I would put a 20 rep range, because now my body is able to stretch across a longer rep range, which is going to lower the weight to a nice comfortable weight, which is going to allow me to be able to do what I have to do and not be injured. Okay, so that is another method that you can use to allow this machine to help you, not just help you to work around an injury, but even maybe work through an injury to the point where your injury is gone. It's incredible, guys. It's incredible. The technology that you can use is just insane. So that's just the number 2. That's just the second reason why someone with an injury might want to consider a Tonal and actually not shy away from it. It's incredible. All right, so what you can do is also you can lower the weight manually on this machine. Okay, so if you go into here, you're going to see, if I go into this mode here, this is free mode. If I go into free mode and I go to start movement, you're going to see you can manually adjust the weight, right? So even if Tonal says, oh, I think you should do 30 pounds. If you know that your body can't do 30 pounds, you can manually adjust the weight to a lower amount. And not only can you do that, but you can adjust it by 1 pound increments. 1 pound. When you go to a gym, you're only able to adjust from like 5 pounds to 10 pound increments, which is throwing extra weight on you that you're not ready for. I mean, think about it. If you're used to benching 50 pounds, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, all right, I'm getting stronger. Well, now I'm getting stronger. I got to do 60 pounds. Not real. That's not the way it should be in an ideal situation. But the world that we live in is not ideal. But now we got a lot closer to ideal, guys. We got almost perfect with Tonal, because you can adjust it from 50 pounds to 51 pounds, and then 52 pounds, and then 53 pounds. So you're not confined to that 5 or 10 pound increment change, which is going to allow your muscles to be able to work through an injury. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So that's another reason why this machine, for someone who has an injury, you might want to consider this, guys. All right, so you can lower the weight manually. Even if Tonal recommends a different weight, you can lower it manually. So you can allow also Tonal to change the weight for you. Now, well, Tonal does that anyway. But what I mean is, you can take yourself out of the equation. Don't change it manually, right? And if you use this machine and it notices that you're struggling, it's going to automatically lower the weight. It's going to automatically lower the weight, and it's going to give you a comfortable weight. So you don't have to worry about figuring out your own weight. It's going to automatically lower the weight. So let's say I'm doing my rear delt fly and I got my rear delt injury and I'm struggling to bring that weight back. It's going to sense that I'm struggling. It's going to lower the weight. Now, you might be thinking, well, Joe, you got 2 arms. So if you're coming back on your left arm's fine, but your right arm's messed up, is the spotter mode, is the machine going to kick in and lower the weight for you? That I have tested in the past. As long as the machine was sensing that there was a struggle, sensing that there was a tension on the lines, it did not decrease the weight. But don't let that deter you, because guys, you have so many exercises on this machine that you can do with just one side of your body. So you don't have to just do a delt fly with both arms. You don't have to. You can do it with one arm. You can come over here. You can hold the machine like this. You go like this. And you can do it on the single arm mode. So you have multiple, like for example, if we take a look here, let's get a little closer to the machine. If you come here, you can see on Tonal, you have a single arm bench press. So you can do one arm and then do your other arm independently, okay? Which is incredible. And you can just lower the weight or change the weight depending on what you want. And you can do that with multiple exercises, guys. And even exercises that they don't tell you that you can do that with. See, for example, seated overhead press. You can do that with just one arm and then just independently switch to your other arm. Now, there's modes, like I showed you, there's a single arm mode, alternate bench press, that's what I was talking about earlier, alternate bench press. But there's different modes, but guys, see how he's alternating here. Overhead press, alternating overhead press. You don't have to just use the alternate mode. You don't have to find an exercise that only has an alternate mode. You can just simply use the arm that you want to use. And then when you're ready to switch. You don't have to worry about the algorithm. Just do your exercises. Go in here and do what you need to do to get what you need done. That's it. You don't have to worry too much about that stuff, guys. You have options with this machine. Another thing that I want to talk to you about is, while we're here in front of the screen, I can show you. You have movement replacement options. Let me get you a little bit closer. There you go. That's better. Okay, you have movement replacement options. So let's say, for example, you have an injury, right? And you wake up, but you want to do this exercise here with this coach here. Backside is best side, right? So let's click on that. And you might be looking at this and saying, oh man, this looks like a great program, but I'm worried because I might not be able to do some of these exercises. You have the option to change out the exercises right here. So you see where it says block 1? This is showing you all the exercises that are... Okay, I just completely messed this up. Hold on a second. There you go. This is showing you all the exercises that are located within this particular program. If you're worried that you can't do a neutral grip deadlift, you're just going to click on this, and they're going to give you other movements that are suggested for that will help you to be able to get around the fact that you can't do that movement. You see what I'm saying? Alternative moves. So it's going to give you, for all the exercises, goblet split squat, right? It's going to give you all the exercises that you can do instead of the goblet split squat. Excuse me. Hard to say that. Try that 5 times. Burpees, right? Let's say you don't want to do a burpee. Instead, you can do a push-up. Now, this is common sense to me, but it might not be common sense to other people, and that's fine. Because I know with me, when I'm doing a program and I don't feel like doing a certain move, I'll just sub it out for another one. So this is all it's doing is, but it's taking the thinking portion out. You don't have to think anymore with this, which is pretty incredible. You know, this exercise, they're showing you throughout this program what muscles are going to be worked. So you can get a good idea, oh, is this going to hurt my injured body part? Guys, you got so many options with this. It's just unbelievable. And so while we're at the screen, I also want to show you what I was talking about earlier as far as the rep range, so that I don't confuse you. Let's just go to a bicep curl, okay? We're going to go to a bicep curl. You see how it tells you, all right, we got spotter mode, we got burnout mode, we got all these different modes, okay? Let's say, for example, I don't even know why I took this. I'm just used to taking this off. I didn't have to take that off, so ignore that. Let's say, for example, I want a 12 rep range. That's my usual amount that I like to do. We're going to go to start movement. Now, Tonal knows my body pretty good, right? It's an incredible machine. It's got me for a 12 rep range. It's offering me 25 pounds per arm, okay? Which is actually kind of low. But after the first set, it's going to recalibrate and it's probably going to give me like, 35 or whatever it is. Anyway, 12 rep range, 25 pounds per arm. Now, if I were to change, let me show you. Let me go to end workout. Okay. If I go to end workout, now let's say I go back in there. I'm going to go back to the bicep curl. And I choose a 20 rep range. 20 rep range, okay. Start movement. You see how the weight lowered? Now it's 21 pounds. Because what Tonal is doing is it's anticipating your body being able to do this amount of reps. So it's saying, all right, I know Joe pretty good. I think in order for him to do that 12 rep, those 20 reps, he has to be at a 21 pound weight. If I want to be at a 12 rep range, it's going to say, all right, I know Joe pretty good. I'm going to increase the weight because I want to get him into a 12 rep range and be burned out by the time he gets to that last rep. That's the point, guys. We want to burn ourselves out. We want to use our bodies as much as possible. Unless you have a different program that you're running in your life. Maybe it's just you're trying to get increase a weak muscle, where in that case you want to go a little easier. But at the end of the day, guys, you got options when it comes to this. I just wanted to show you that it is very intuitive and it does all the thinking for you. So another thing that I want to talk about is, guys, there are actually programs on here. There's programs on here for stretching, okay? There's programs on here for stretching. I don't know if you guys are into stretching. I know I have not always been into stretching, and I kind of neglect that portion of the exercising. But honestly, guys, stretching helps. I think you guys know that. Stretching helps. It really does. You have yoga on here, okay? You got Pilates. You have all this stuff that can help you to build your muscles, build past your injury. You guys might be thinking, at least this is how I think, oh, I have an injury, so I have to live like this. You don't necessarily have to live like this, guys. You can try to build past it. And before we had this, we were stuck trying to build past it on our own. If I had my rear delt injury and I didn't have this machine, I would not be able to use the chest fly machine at the gym. Yeah, sure, I could lower the weight down to an almost completely useless weight and try to do my thing, do my rear delt, build past that injury. Sure, I could have. But am I really gaining anything at that point? I can tell you right now, I've lived it. No, I was not. When I tried to do that in the past, I was not doing it. But with the modes that this thing has, you can build past that injury. I'm going to lift almost no weight this way and then heavier weight coming down this way. No weight this way, heavier weight this way. Mind-blowingly insane. You're going to work past your injuries, guys. You're going to build your muscles stronger. You're going to hopefully get rid of your injuries. If you know how to use this thing right, you can get rid of injuries. I quite literally did it myself, so I'm telling you from experience, at least in my case, in my injury, I was able to work past injuries. So you might be thinking, oh, I got a bad back, I don't want to buy a Tonal. Guys, Tonal might be the thing that you should buy. It might be the thing you should buy. So experiment with this machine, learn about it, watch videos like this, try to see, is this something that can help me? Try to figure out what your injury is and why you have it. Tonal might be the thing that can get you past that injury. This has futuristic modes, guys. Modes that you can't find anywhere else. You can't go to a gym and get on a bench press and be like, oh, I'm lifting nothing, and now all of a sudden it's 100 pounds. On this machine, you can do that. I'm going to lift 10 pounds, and now all of a sudden it's going to come down 50 pounds. You can't do that in real life. Go to a gym and try that. You'll need 2 spotters to take the weight up, and then you just drop it down. They're going to have to take the weight up again, then you have to drop it down. This thing is doing it for you. So you can work past injuries. And like I said, sports performance programs, they have pre- and postnatal workouts. That is so awesome. Okay. Warm-up and mobility programs. Let me get closer. Warm-up and mobility. There's a section for warm-up and mobility, guys. Now, a lot of this involves a Theragun. I don't know if you guys have one of those. I have a similar one of those guns. Mobility for beginners. Look at this. Mobility for stuck muscles. There's more, guys. But I don't know if I have to go more. I think you guys have a very good idea of what this thing has to offer. In conclusion, I can see why someone would shy away from buying this machine because it's thousands of dollars. If you have an injury, you might not want to buy this because it's like scary. Oh, I might buy this machine, not be able to use it. And while that is true, that might be true, it also might be a reason why you want to look at this machine. Because like I said, guys, I have literally been injured. And I have literally been able to work through the injury to a point where I actually built up past the injury. To the point where I am now healed and stronger because of this machine with no downtime. It can help you with the modes that it has to work through injuries, to build your muscles up while you're injured. Guys, I understand why you might shy away, and it's wise to shy away because that's thousands of dollars that you might spend and you might not be able to use this machine because you're injured. But guys, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, all right? I suggest if you're injured and you're interested in this machine, take a look at what the machine has to offer. Learn about your injury. See if maybe Eccentric Mode might help, right? If I'm injured and I'm at home and I don't have a tonal and I have a problem with my rear delt, I'm going to take the weight. I'm going to take a barbell, right? Take a barbell. I'm going to take a barbell and I'm going to lift it, okay? I'm going to take the barbell and lift it. I got a delt injury. More than likely, depending on the injury, I got pain there. Oh, man, it's horrible. Now, I'm going to somehow try to get the weight up and then bring it down. And more than likely, coming down, I'm not going to have an injury. I'm not going to be in pain. I'm not going to be in pain. If that's the case, guys, this machine can help. Because you no longer have to come up heavy like this. Come down nice and heavy, come up nice and light. So this is some of the stuff that's going to help you. Eccentric Mode is, I can't describe to you, this machine is worth every penny just for Eccentric Mode. The way it builds your muscles, the way it rips it down, the way it allows you to work out, the way it is building your muscle fibers to be stronger, faster. Take a look. Do some research on eccentric training, guys. Do some research on that. This machine is the eccentric training beast of the world. Eccentric training is the way to go, I believe, especially if you have an injury. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I really hope that you guys have a good idea on whether or not this machine is good for you if you have an injury. If you have any questions, reach out to me, okay? Reach out. I'd be glad to help answer those questions. You have so many options on this, guys. You can use one side of the machine and not the other. You can change the weight from one side to the other. You have so many options. You could be doing 50 pounds over here and then do 20 pounds over here. guys, you got options that you don't have anywhere else, okay? So I hope this helped. Let me know if it helped, guys. Let me know if there's any more information you need. Be safe, and I'll talk to you all soon.